I kill Lucian's second most charming son. Come now. Is this really necessary? I did not kill Alexander, you stupid ape. Release me!
Bonjour, 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 c'est Egon, bienvenue dans ce nouvel épisode de Divinity OS 2. Donc, dans le dernier épisode, à la fin, on était près du JB pour aller essayer de libérer la maître Siva.
Poor dwarf.
Et
do you even know what they've done to you?
Magistère les arts morts. Apparemment, elle est toute seule. Hein. Je vois pas d'autres, à moins de surprise.
I did not kill Alexander, you stupid ape. Release me! Come now. Is this really necessary?
Ça commence bien. Ah, ça refuse de passer.
I did not kill Alexander, you stupid ape. Release me!
C'est qui parle? C'est elle qui parle toute seule, clouée au sol.
You poor dwarf. Do you even know what they've done to you?
The lizard hangs from the gibbet, her face blooded and her scales discolored. Her eyes are closed, but her tongue flickers as you approach.
Welcome to Driftwood, God-woken.
One bloody eye cracks open, glittering gold appearing from beneath the swollen lid.
Chased you all the way here from Fort Joy, did they? Very well then, cut me down. There is work to be done. Or indeed you could stand there gulping like a mutt at the dinner table. That is certainly all right. Be quick about it, before the Magister realizes their prize catch is about to slip through the net.
Oui, réfléchis quelques instants. Je n'ai pas attiré l'attention du magistère dans l'immédiat. Trancher ces liens, l'idée à descendre.
Excellent. Now, if you'd be so kind as to gut that startled-looking Magister, it would be much appreciated. I must secure my home before they do any more damage.
c'est qui qu'on a? Ah, c'est là. D'accord.
Doesn't it?
Ah oui. D'accord. Ah, mais ils sont tous en combat. Tout ça. On va voir si on va s'en sortir en mode classique. Ah oui, ça m'étonnerait aussi que qu'on soit tout seul. Tac, le foutu. Tiens, mais ça m'aurait étonné. Pardon. Il y a l'autre qui est derrière.
I'm ready.
Je sens mal.
Glory is mine. Prepare yourself.
Stratégique. Oh, les enfoirés.
Hurts, doesn't it?
Ça va être chaud. Là, ça.
Doesn't it?
vraiment réussi ce combat. Ah, tout ça pour rien récupérer, super. Ça dit pas le... Si les armures sont vraiment assez niveau 3. J'avais pas changé trop de choses. Ah oui, parce qu'il y a un index chasseur, ça va être chaud. Ça c'est... Je la ramener chez elle. Faut retourner chez elle. C'est un petit puisque... Ce qu'elle va nous dire.
The Meister sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like it was dislocated by the gallows.
Damnable red cloak baboons ransacking my wardrobes, as if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pile with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
I swear by the seven, if we did not have more important matters to attend to.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle and thread out of a box. She slowly starts to tend to her wounds.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe.
Ah, intéressant ça.
Apparently I had a claw in murdering their darling divine-in-waiting Alexander.
The Meister wrenches the bandage, pulling the fabric tight against her wound. She winces before tying it off in a neat knot, but you can see the red stain already spreading across the fabric.
Never mind that. That I was here the entire time. Apparently my cunning transcends time, space, and common sense. It is not enough to be God-woken in order to ascend to divinity.
As she speaks, the Meister uncorks a vial of shimmering liquid, sauce. She lets a couple of drops fall on her hand, but instead of infusing with her body, they quickly evaporate on her scales. She stares at the empty spot on her palm for a long moment before turning back to you, continuing as if nothing had happened.
A process by which God-woken may ascend. It begins with discovering your deepest self, delving into your own soul. We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen God-woken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head. Come, God-woken. It is time to see just how Fortunately, the Magisters pay as much attention to art as they do. Kindly remove that painting from the wall.
Je vais l'instruction. On va accéder à la cave. Je appuie sur un bouton mural caché derrière un tableau puis saisir le code. Merde, c'était quoi le code? Derrière un tableau. Oui. Un tableau qui est immunisé contre tout ça. J'ai raté. Ça serait pas là. Ah, je pense que ça a enregistré juste avant. Pas juste après.
The Meister sits slumped in a chair.
Damnable!
She takes it, reaching across.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault. In your case, more than I suspect, man, God or even reptile can provide. It is not enough to be God-woken in order to ascend.
As she speaks, the Meister uncorks. She stares at the...
A process by which God-woken may ascend. We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have become God-woken. It is time to see just how... Fortunately, the Magisters pay as much attention to art as they do to fashion. Kindly remove that painting from the wall.
Tableau au mur. Oui. Non. Déclencher ce panneau au mur. C'était super.
I pray my instructions will not be too technical for you. Push the button. Your talent for following simple instructions fills me with wonder and pride. Now, kindly go to the vault and enter the combination. I shall call it out as you go.
A stone door lies flush with the floorboards. Etched whorls in the granite frame a delicate rotary dial. Gleaming under the dim light, the metallic dial almost seems to wink at you. Taking your time, you carefully enter the combination. The metallic sounds of the tumblers falling within the mechanism let you know you entered the code correctly.
Salut Nicolas, bienvenue dans ce live. Oui.
Excellent.
J'ai pas donné la
Follow me.
combinaison, mais...
Your time is at hand, Godwoken.
Puissant. Qu'est-ce que ça dit le journal? J'ai montré dans le cas, oui. Sans doute qu'on rentre quelqu'un.
And try not to break anything in the meantime.
Ancient runes, weird contraptions. This place is an Arcanist's dream.
The Meister is examining her wounds, prodding at this, wincing at that. Her face seems grim as she turns to you.
Do you know what it means to have the power of the divine, Godwoken? Just so. To accept divinity is to accept responsibility for the lives of every person and beast that walks Rivellon. If granted divinity, you would have the power of all 7 gods at your disposal. You could heal any wound, pull islands from the sea, right in injustice. But make no mistake, the divine has only one duty: to protect this world from the void. The divine cannot use his power for anything else. Very well then. Let's see if we can't snatch divinity from the jaws of the void. The ritual itself is quite simple. Drop some blackroot in the bowl, mix in a little blood, set the concoction aflame, and then inhale the smoke. Ignore any feelings of dizziness, burning in your lungs, or a dire sense of existential dread. They're all perfectly normal, although you will need to sacrifice a little sauce along the way. Everything you need is here. Ingredients in the cupboard, sauce in the glowing fountain, ritual in the tome by the bookcase, even an incinerator to provide a flame.
The Meister looks back at her wounds, curiously prodding them as fresh blood oozes out, staining her claws.
Once, although not by a god woken. My assistant did not believe that one had to be chosen by a god to become divine.
She waves a bandaged hand
A headstrong and thoughtless girl, but the experience was... was quite educational. From observing her, I gather that the ritual involves inhaling the smoke, a lot of screaming, and a rather sudden death. And putting our faith in you is a risk Rivellon must take. If you need more detailed information about the ritual, see the tome on a plinth by the bookcase. But be quick about it. We do not have much time.
sorte pour trouver ces armes.
Opening the door, you see a selection of it. After a quick rummage, you spot the blackroot, nestled between the grated dragon's tongue and DIVINITY. You gather up the blackroot, obsidian lance, and ancient bowl, and kick the door of the cupboard closed.
Chercher partout. Explique qu'on fait les tenants cela, il va nous faire le problème de santé. Merci. Laisse-nous des trucs que j'ai derrière. Je dois signaler. Merci. Ah, l'aiguillon est là. C'est ça. Ça, ça. Ça, ça. Ça. Ça qu'on peut faire. Sans douter. Ça. Ça. Voilà. Genre de rituel, ok. Ok. Ça. Et il faut l'incinérer et respirer la fumée, c'est ça.
As you suck the smoke deep into your lungs, your vision starts to swim and cloud. There is an intense pounding in your head, and you can feel the world fading. As the world fades away, you lose all sense of being grounded. You reach out, but you could feel yourself falling slowly, sinking into the depths of your...
Je retombe. Les 7 là. Ceci, il vous avez retourné dans le cours des échos. D'accord. Ce qui nous attend, tiens, c'est moi-même.
Bathed in the half-light of these starless barrens, you spot a figure you could only describe as a second self. It looks haggard and weak, its very voice but a feeble echo of your own.
Ivan, my wolf! Come closer, so that you may see me, as you will see when you look.
The apparition clasps your face in its shaking hands. You suddenly feel your eyes tingle.
Blind eyes, shine brightly. Speak the spell, and see.
Vous avez appris vision spirituelle. C'est régulièrement ce sans pouvoir les fantômes qui n'ont pas encore totalement quitté le monde des mortels. D'accord. Vision spirituelle. Ah, tiens, tu n'as pas traduit. Je sais pas comment faire y penser. Tellement de trucs, franchement. Okay.
Please, speak the spell.
J'ai pas mis les... Je vais aussi être capable de leur parler d'un côté, je suis d'accord. Quelle formule je dois dire? Parce qu'il y a deux machins. C'est pas, c'est compliqué. Journal de quête. J'espère pas que ça va, Nicolas.
Please, speak the spell.
Prononce la formule, mais quelle formule?
Please, speak the spell.
Ah, tu as utilisé le pouvoir des fantômes.
That is the strange mirror image of yourself. Before you stands the god Ralik in all his spectral glory.
You know me now, don't you? I saved you from drowning. I blessed you, made you powerful. Your god-woken soul is my last refuge, my last bastion. May as well make the best of what you have to offer.
Il se réfugie dans mon âme.
Rannick nourishes himself from the source that abounds in your presence. You feel deep down inside yourself.
Ah, yes. Just what I needed. I tell you, dying just doesn't become a god. Don't you dare to be ungrateful after all I've done for you. I sheltered you. The void itself is hunting down the gods, leeching us in ways we never thought possible. We're battling for our very survival. It's a battle we're losing, and should we truly lose, all will be cast into oblivion. To save us both, as a matter of fact. You must realize, Ifan, that our fates are now as one, just as our souls are now as one. Together we are a force to be reckoned with. But if we seek to survive the onslaught of the void, we stand no chance unless we become vastly more powerful than we are now. That means there is but one place we can go. The Well of Ascension. You most certainly will. The Well of Ascension is a lake, a pool of pure source in which the powers of the Seven lie united.
D'accord, on va rechercher le but ultime, puis l'ascension avant de tuer le néant.
We gave them up freely to create the first divine. Each of us donated half of that which makes us gods. To bathe in the lake is to become our chosen. That is where the road to divinity leads, and you must be the first to reach it at all costs. It was a time of selflessness and sacrifice, in the face of our old enemy. It was an act of heroism, and a dreadful mistake. The void is stronger than ever. A new divine won't be enough. You need to go to the Well of Ascension, not to bathe in the source of the Seven, but to take it. All of it.
Marrant, Paris jusqu'à la dernière goutte.
Only he who claims everything will be everything. The Void's doom. This world's liberator. It's very simple, really. They will either bow to you or be undone. But of course, that is what they are saying to their own God Woken as we speak. We both know they won't bow, just like we both know you will never bow to them. Only one can become a god strong enough to safeguard, so make no mistake, Ifan. Chances are the road to divinity will be paved with dead gods. Their blood on your blood-red hands. But don't let that dismay you. For these sins will be washed clean by the knowledge you committed them to save all of existence. To save your kin, and your loved ones, and the world they live in. Of course, the ends do justify the means. Life, or if you choose life, you choose the Well of Ascension. I will lead you there when you're ready, when you've become a true master of the Source and speak the language of creation itself. Our journey will be fraught with peril. It is a pilgrimage of challenges that will require you to command Source like only a God Woken can, and wield its most powerful spell.
cherche pas un brin démonique pour la solution.
Hoarse laughter rolls and echoes into infinity.
Perhaps. But what is a pilgrimage after all? If not a journey of atonement in search of enlightenment? Focus not on death and irony, Ithan. You've had enough of those. It's time to turn your lupine gaze to life and ascension instead. We are I now. The spells you need to know I will teach you when you are ready. But first you must learn to channel the source in greater volumes. That is why you need to seek masters of the source. You must make them teach you, so that you may become a master in turn. So, return to Rivellon and seek out these sages where they dwell. Convince them to share with you their deep-seated bond with the source.
Ah oui, mais si on est 4 à demander à chaque fois, à demander qu'ils nous enseignent, ça va être chaud. Si on doit tous se battre les uns contre les autres à la fin.
Once you have, you may return to me here. Something that will make you understand that for a god, there is precious little difference between the living and the dead. Source is. It is a constant, a subject of neither time nor transience. All of life is source, and in source it is, immortally so. You have the vision of a god now. Eyes that can see spirits, the souls of the dead made manifest in source. Speak the spell during your peregrinations, and you will see them. Where the dead lie, the dead. Best of luck, Ben Mezd.
D'accord, il va falloir trouver des mecs maintenant.
The Meister stares intently at you. Her eyes are tired and bruised, but determined.
Still alive? Gods are
She leans in, her bloody tongue flickering hungrily about your face.
Tell me, what did you see? What you know?
She sighs impatiently as you hack up the last of the green smoke.
You can't channel enough source? Gods be damned, why couldn't you have a nice simple problem? Finding an orc to dance the hornpipe, perhaps?
Donc c'est la J.
I know exactly what must be done. You must find a master of source. And I could have helped you once, but no longer.
Nicolas, t'as encore combien de temps de formation là, de cours en fait?
The purging which the Magisters included as part of their service was quite efficient. They stripped me of my source. Not enough to silence me, but enough that I would not turn their insides to lime.
Jusqu'en septembre. Et c'est là que tu passes au truc de fin, ton concours, le truc de fin, c'est ça en septembre.
Enough to sever my link to the font from which all source flows. And certainly enough that I cannot train you. So we must seek alternatives. Alas, the only source masters not yet hauled off to Fort Joy or turned into meat puppets are those too dangerous or cunning for the Magisters to contain.
Et moi j'attends toujours la réponse de la région pour ma formation. Qui devrait commencer normalement en décembre ou janvier, pendant un an. développeurs front-end. Attends, j'espère que d'ici la fin du mois, ça sera accepté. On verra bien. Et donc, tu travailles en... Tu as des cours en présentiel ou c'est à distance? C'est qu'en présentiel tes cours?
Sorcerers that allowed their power to corrupt them. Many are wicked, cruel, vile, and generally not good teacher material, but we may have no others to turn to.
Tout en présentiel. Et je suppose qu'après, bah, tu dois travailler hors cours. C'est les mains qui donnent du sang, tu vois.
Your poor taste in drinking partners does not interest me. These are no average cutthroats. They are the kind of creatures that grew bored of pulling the legs off spiders and so moved on to people. However, it is the path we walk, no matter what the cost. No matter what is asked of you.
Mais moi, dans mon truc, ils disent faut travailler entre 6 et 8 heures par jour. Ils conseillent de travailler 6 heures à 8 heures par jour. En tout cas, à distance, là, avec Open Classroom. Pour tenir, faire les... Parce qu'il y a 7 ou 9 projets à faire sur un an. Je crois que c'est un projet tous les 2 mois. C'est pareil, il y a 6 à 8 heures minimum par jour. Faut voir, je sais pas, on verra bien si je tiens le coup ou si ça me va. Travailler à distance.
The Meister doubles over in a violent coughing fit, struggling for breath. After a few moments, she regains her composure, wiping a thin smear of blood from the corner of her mouth.
No matter what is asked of you, you must learn from them. And you do not seem to be paying attention. Sorcerers, evil, controlling your source, saving Rivellon, please. Please, your focus, your only focus, must be on finding these masters, on finding the secrets to divinity. Nothing else matters. The Magisters have kept ledgers with all known sorcerers, especially the powerful ones not yet captured. They would be an invaluable resource.
Super, donc il va falloir aller chez les magistères, prendre ces fameux cartes, registres, super, ça va être chaud.
But do be careful not to get caught. I was their guest for a time, and I promise you the gallows was the most comfortable part of the experience. And if their barracks turns out to be as empty as their skulls, just try to keep an ear to the ground. There may still be powerful sorcerers hiding in these lands.
As she speaks, one of her wounds reopens, a dark red stain spreading across her tunic. She hisses in frustration and starts to bind the gash.
I wish there was more I could do, but in this condition, I would be more a hindrance than a boon. Godspeed, and remember, do whatever it takes.
Concentrer sur le fait de trouver des maîtres de la source. Il y a des exécutés, d'accord. caserne proche des magistéraux. Ça c'est encore chaud. Mission, ça. Esprit d'apprenti.
The spirit of an elegant elven woman materializes before you. She seems surprised.
You can see me. A god woken in my presence. You honor me.
The spirit looks at you regretfully.
It is hard to hear of such power and not covet it for yourself. I lie to myself and convince myself that I am special. But I am not special.
The Meister sits slumped in her chair. You notice that some of her scales have dropped to the floor.
Ouf, 3000. Ah oui, c'est vrai qu'il va falloir que j'achète les machins.
What news? Can you channel enough source? Are you powerful enough to proceed?
Ah bah sinon, encore où je voudrais retourner dans le d'accord.
Then why, pray tell?
D'accord. Parce qu'il y a des trucs à récupérer. Ça c'est fait. Ce que je peux prendre, je prends. Tiens. Je sais bien. Chemin d'intérêt végétal. Ah, elle aussi, elle peut voir les esprits. Ah bah oui, là. Ah oui, normalement, ils ont tous le son. Je comprends là maintenant. quête. Faire un masque de métamorphe. La bière et l'utilise. Ah, t'as examen demain. Bon courage hein, pour tes révisions. J'espère que mon live te distrairait pas trop. Perception. Perception. C'est pas évident, pas évident. Il y a tellement de choses à gérer dans ce truc-là. Je suis toujours là. Ce que j'ai fait. Derrière, je... Ça va être chaud. Là, j'ai une source en cas de besoin. Ah, ça marche pas. Je peux remettre le truc en place. Parchemin d'éclairement, dimension. Encore un truc énigmatique. Ah oui, la pyramide de téléportation, j'ai pas testé ça. Bon, ce jeu est long parce qu'il y a pas mal de choses à explorer.
Now is not the time for a bath.
C'est quand on va pouvoir se baigner.
You see yourself in the mirror. It's quite a sight.
C'est toujours un plaisir. Si ça commence à me déconner. Parce que les personnages ne mangent pas. Utilité. Je porte un petit peu quand même. De jus froid. De jus petite taille. Encore des nouvelles recettes. Sac à dos. Moi j'ai pas d'application sur. Ah oui, d'accord. Ok. Ça sert à ça. Je me laisse n'importe quoi. C'est d'accord. Je vais essayer d'organiser ça plus tard. Mettre tout ça en fait. Ça va être par le raccourci plus petite. Intéressant.
Fill my damn cup.
Non, je vais pas utiliser ça. Ah merde, ça a bougé le truc.
As long as you stay put, you'll be safe.
Doubled over in agony, the shivering Magister spirit mumbles to himself, tightly noting the attention. He straightens, revealing insignia spelling Kinnet, and a jagged wound spilling his innards upon the ground. He reaches a ghostly hand into your chest and squeezes your heart. You become Kinnet, his memories flooding over you and replacing your own. Warmth, comfort. You are Kinnet, playing cards with your mates in a cozy barracks. You stagger to tipsy attention as a white-clad Magister commands that one of your troop seek a lost caravan. It's a one-man job, a job no man wants. Your sly-eyed troop leader holds out straws to you and the others. Who will investigate? You feel the short straw and hear them shout, "Kinnet!" You know what that means. A lonely traipse in the cold dark. Massacre. Your lantern reveals ravaged corpses in every direction. Inhaling sharply, you smell a thick black stench you remember secondhand from the few void-woken corpses your troops have found. No. Kinnet's tears fall from your eyes as you recognize his beloved weapon master, lifeless. A dark thicket rustles to your left. A claw rakes savage stripes across your guts. As Kinnet dies, all go staggering back from Kinnet's deathly grasp. Only your own blood now pumps through your heart. With your living eyes, you see him trembling in front of you, desperately holding out 3 straws. As you pluck the short straw from his hands, Kinnet weeps with relief. His wound disappears in turn, and he is restored. He looks around. The spirits of a Magister and a dwarf are locked in ethereal combat. Their vicious blows make no impact, yet they struggle on. Mid-snarl, the dwarf spies your presence and staggers back to address you.
Sorcerer! You must hate the Reds as much as I do, eh? Rightly so. Reds had sorcerers locked up tight in that caravan. And you know where they were sending them? You look like you've been there yourself.
The Magister lunges for the dwarf, his exasperation.
Anna, you saw it with your own eyes. You know Sorcerer's Law, Voidwoken, and you know we'd all still be alive if you hadn't attacked our caravan. Before it all, Voidwoken stole the sorcerers along the cliffs, headed for Seven knows where.
Not to flip your flops or nothing, but 'tis more that my boss Lohar is against Magisters than for sorcerers, if you know what I mean.
The Magister snorts in disdain.
Lohar, I should have known. Sorcerer, if you want to stay alive around these parts, you'll stay far, far away from that walking vermin. Though, on the other hand, maybe you should go stand near him. Maybe the
dwarf eyes you stead. The Magister shrugs.
Well, if I knew that, we'd have taken...
History'll remember you Reds with more venom than even the Black Ring.
History? History is written by victors. Do not doubt our divine order will...
Oblivious to your presence, the two spirits weave. The Magister turns to you. Oblivious to your presence, the dwarf turns to you, a quizzical look in his bright eyes.
Not to flip your flops or nothing.
The Magister snorts in...
Lohar, I should have known...
History'll remember
The
you
ball
Reds
flips its ghostly tail at a non-existent fly. It registers...
Well, guess I should have seen that coming.
Do not doubt our divine...
Dying, of course. As soon as they sent me pulling that there wagon, I should have known this was how things was going to end. Of course, I can see the future, and I did see this, but I honestly thought I was sleeping.
History'll remember you Reds with more
Well, that's
venom
nice of
than
you.
even the Black Ring.
It's not so bad so far. I sure don't miss pulling wagons. You sure you want to know? Alright. Here is...
The ball shakes itself, swallows the card, clears its throat.
You're gonna die. Let me think about that soon, maybe.
The ball shrugs.
Here. I don't suppose you could do...
The ball nods its...
I knew you'd say...
On a libéré aussi.
History'll remember you Reds with more venom than even the Black Ring.
History?
Que eux deux, c'est tout.
History
Ils se
is
disputent
written
toujours, hein.
by victors. Do
Apparemment,
not
il n'y en a pas
doubt
d'autres.
our divine order will prevail.
Ah, c'est... Ah. C'est bébé, ça.
Come on, come on!
Ah bah non, c'est bien un bug, oui. Je me disais aussi, ça me paraît bizarre qu'il lève le... Passer... Ici, là. va prendre un bateau. Les œufs.
There's still a chance.
Oula. Bien. Je vois tout ça, service, machin. Rien caché. C'est pas. Piou piou, qu'est-ce qu'il fait piou piou?
There you are, little egg.
On fait la poule. Un des œufs sont ramasser. Là, il y a un document. C'est pour le passer. Non, c'est le bon on peut aller. Ici. Apparemment, sous on peut passer.
Come on!
History will remember you Reds with more venom than even the Black Ring.
History? History is written by victors. Do not doubt our divine.
Que le
right, plenty of fighters for hire. Experts in blades, bows, and... Oh, I see.
Sans doute très bien. Qu'est-ce qu'il faut mettre là? Des clous, une armure. Oui, pourquoi celle-là enlevée? Je vois pas du tout. J'ai permis de parce que c'est où c'est marqué je sais quoi. Ça c'est la côté alimentation. Comment ça s'utilise l'établi? Est-ce qu'on a des clous, une armure? Personne. Retourner.
Much business today.
Tell me.
Not much. People don't want to leave town. Can't blame them.
Nothing good. The boys
There's no
they're
safety
everywhere.
in solitude. Well,
Back
keep
for a
steady.
return visit, are
There'll
you?
still be potions. They'll be by soon enough.
Utilité à tout ça, non?
Woke up this morning in a sweat. Can't get that thing anymore. You made it back safe and sound. That's all you gotta think about right now. Easier said than done, Ada. Woke up this morning in a sweat. Can't get that thing anymore. You made it back safe and sound. That's all you gotta think about right now.
Yep.
Could be worse, you know.
Hard to say how.
You could be a dwarf, for starters.
Ici, là, ça c'est magistère. Ça. Ça doit être là-dedans qu'il y a
Oh, the heavens! Why the devil is this stall out in the open?
Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Ça va. C'est qui? Magistère.
Bellwether, I need those reports,
sir.
damn it.
Right away.
On la tire. C'est chaud. Si.
Belson,
Trois
my
personnes
inkwell is
sur-
dry.
sur-
Fetch me some
Right
more.
away.
À part Nicolas. Magister Carl. 10.
Balbit, would you have
Of course, sir. Right away.
Ils sont deux là-dedans.
my inkwell.
Juste tester. C'est comme ça.
Barwick, would you have me die upstairs? Fill my damn cup.
Par où vous êtes passé, vous? Non, ils ont pas croisé le... Je crois pas. Ils sont passés carrément en plein milieu. Et les magistères n'ont rien dit. Qu'est-ce que c'est que... Le mec, il passe au milieu du bâtiment.
Let it be known henceforth, in the absence of our beloved Alexander, Bishop Divine, as were let fly by the perfidious lizards of the ancient empire, with the divine order of Lucian is now led by his sons Dallas. Hammer of the Hammer shall take counsel. Hail to the Hammer!
Cut off a demon's head, and an archdemon rises from the bloody stumble. Typical.
Truly? Is it some sort of breeding technique, or... Ah! One of your human phrases.
Barwick, would you have me die upstairs? Fill my damn cup.
Ah, c'est ça. Ça ne dit rien du tout.
What's this? Damn it, Barwell, you're supposed to be stopping intruders. There's still a fugitive on the loose.
It's Belworth, sir. And the fugitives...
I don't care. Keep on alert until this fiend's head is on a spike. I don't want to end up like the others. Now, you... What do you want? You can't just come in here as you please. There's magisters missing. I'm trying to conduct a bloody investigation. Ah, I see. You're sniffing around for a reward. Well, there'll be gold for anyone who helps us bring this mess to an end. Otherwise, you won't get a damn thing. The fiend's greed gave him away. He was peddling items that belonged to those missing from our ranks. He saw my men before they could seize him and fled. Hardly. By all accounts, he seemed like just another money-grubbing nobody. He must have caught my magisters unawares. It's the only explanation. No matter, he'll face justice either way. If you catch sight of that dog, tell me or my men at once. Well, do you know anything? Stop wasting my time, then. Bellwether, I need those reports,
sir.
damn it.
Right away.
Belson, my inkwell is
Course,
dry.
sir.
Fetch me some
Right
more.
away.
I have to stop these disappearances. My career is at stake.
The Magister's jaw is tightly clenched as he stares out of the window. He senses you.
What? Barwint, would you have me die of thirst?
Right away.
Fill my damn cup.
The Magister's jaw is tightly clenched as he stares out of the window. He senses you.
Mince. C'est quoi? Il est vraiment abruti d'attaquer. Mais c'est quoi cette connerie là?
The Magister grumbles under her breath.
What?
Ah, salut Nicolas, ça va, j'essaie de me dipatouiller dans ce jeu là. Surtout dans les quêtes, savoir journal de quêtes. C'est pas évident, c'est un mélange compte rendu et quête à faire. Faut bien lire les trucs.
The Magister's jaw is tightly clenched as he stares out of the window. He senses you.
Bloody bastard will never get my name right. Of course, sir. Right away.
The Magister grumbles under her breath.
Est-ce que tu peux bloquer? Ça vu. Est-ce que toi tu peux passer le fufu? C'est pas évident. Si j'ouvre, je peux faire avoir. Là. Il y a rien. C'est là qu'il y a des trucs à prendre. Faire ça sans se faire avoir, voilà, qui se lève. Ça va être chaud.
What?
Contre la fenêtre. C'est là, à ce moment-là qu'il
Bellwether, I need those reports, damn it.
Bloody bastard will... Of course, sir. Right away.
Barwint, would you have me die of thirst?
Right away.
Fill my damn
The
cup.
Magister grumbles under her breath.
Mais merci d'être passé Nicolas quand même. Bonne soirée, merci.
I have to stop these disappearances. My career is at stake.
The Magister's jaw is tightly clenched as he stares out of the window. He senses you.
Juste un portrait du connu. Parchemin de feuilles. C'est quoi ça que je veux? C'est les registres. C'est quoi ça non plus? J'ai regardé. Les registres sont... Oui, regarde par là. C'est chaud. Parce que les registres sont... Parchemin.
Bloody bastard.
Préparation de ce jeu. Faire ça. Reste là. Non. Il n'y a rien. Je vole pas. C'était pas...
The Magister grumbles under her breath.
Non, c'est... ça, on s'en fout. Non.
Belson, my inkwell is dry. Fetch me some more.
Rempli d'avertissements, parchemin. Voler. Et puis devant. Comment je fais pour le voler?
Farwings, would you have me die of thirst? Fill my damn cup.
Bloody bastard. Of course, sir.
Regarde
Right
pas,
away.
que lui, il regarde pas. Il se barre. On va essayer une dernière fois et on va terminer ce live. Allez, lève-toi s'il te plaît.
I have to stop these disappearances. My career is at stake. Bellwether, I need those
Of course,
reports,
sir.
damn it.
Right away.
Voilà. Je peux pas rentrer en mode furtif. Bon. Eh ben, je vais essayer de faire ça hors live. Je vais remercier les personnes qui ont regardé en direct, ceux qui ont regardé en replay. Comme d'habitude, n'hésitez pas à laisser un like si ça vous a intéressé. Et je vous dis à bientôt pour la suite de ce jeu. Je vous remercie. Au revoir et bonne soirée.
Farwings, would you have me die of thirst?
Right away.
Fill my damn cup.